Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't expect to hear Father Christmas himself. I didn't expect to make an appearance. Yeah. Okay. Josh with the new intro. Welcome back to United View. Welcome to the red carpet, people. Happy Monday. Our Instagram thing's gone a bit funny now, Owen. Is that?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why.
Just went horizontal.
Sorry if you're watching on there.
It's just my forehead now.
Tops of heads, receding hairlines, man.
This is embarrassing. Can we flip us around a little bit?
And then on the top side, you've got excuses of beards from me and Owen. So, yeah.
Mine just hair happens to be growing. We can't call it a beard. No way.
Big up to Skiliano. This is red carpet with fire emojis. Kristen says, evening all. Yes, good evening all. It's a full red carpet today. We will have KG on his way. We will have Marcel on his way, etc., etc. And it's the day after a win. That's very positive. I've been seeing a lot of stuff online. We want to talk about Joshua Zirkzee as well. He's been showing his quality. What happens in the next game? Sort of Mount over Cunha. What's going on there? And finally, Amorim's, got some away wins here or there. And is it, this big push for the Champions League? That's what we got to be looking for. So let's go around the room, man. How are we, Scott? What's occurring in Scott's world right now? I mean, I know you're always arguing with argue's probably the wrong word. Actually, no, sometimes you do argue.
I do a bit, yeah. I've done a bit of it in the last 24 hours or so.
I saw that.
Sometimes I can't resist. Like today I put out a poll, like how many people would think Iraola would do a better job than Amorim is doing. And then I set up some screenshots of things that he had said about how much intensity matters to how he plays afterwards for all the yes voters to see. I think people just are desperate for change and think that the next guy is going to fix absolutely everything. And I've been watching this team for 13 years, unable to pass it together 5 times. They can't string a few passes together. Consistency is the issue. You saw it yesterday, right? The first half and the second half were completely different. And whether that's because Palace were tired, they were, but you have to take advantage. For me, it was just, how did the players apply themselves to what needed to happen? And they got their rewards for putting in a much better second half than the first half. The first half was dog. It was terrible. And afterwards now, even United can win and people are not happy. It's really annoying for me.
That is the one, isn't it, James? I saw you saying, which was good. Oh, Onana's been left out. Crazy. I saw you say,
Bumo's going to be gone on one.
Exactly. Because they're going to get so much better and go so much further, basically.
Yeah.
Nans didn't even make the cut. So wait, he's left to go get the minutes, and we'll talk about that in a bit. James, you were saying that I saw a tweet from you saying that people are too excited maybe when we win and too low when we lose, that those kind of two disparities.
Yeah. I mean, it goes hand in hand. I mean, I think I've been saying for weeks now, when we win, it's we could lose the next one. I'm kind of expecting the next one could be just as bad. We can't get too high, we can't get too low. The team, I think we really are exactly where we should be right now. We are where we deserve to be in the table, in the league, with the performances. It's still a sometimes team. And I thought, Scott was saying there, I think the Palace game was so funny in that respect, because we saw both Uniteds in the same game. And Ruben says himself, you know what? He said at halftime was just wake up a little bit, guys. Just play more football, It's the same team. It's the same stuff. It's the same thing happening, and a different outcome, in those two halves. They could have been 2 different games entirely. And we've seen that first half many times, and we've seen that second half many times. And it's like flipping a coin, which one we're going to get each week, each game. So I'm okay. It's like, it's good. It was a good win. I'm happy with it. I think that where I get frustrated in it being downplayed is that is a good win. I mean, that is a good win, a really difficult place to play. I don't know if you guys saw that stat, but United have not won a game away in London outside of Fulham since Mason Greenwood is a footballer here. He's in his last game.
Spurs. Where was that?
It was
Brentford.
January.
Brentford. Oh yeah, Langer scored in that game as well.
That was his last game for United. Was the last time United beat anyone but Fulham in London. It's been 3.5 years, 23 games that they haven't beaten anyone away in London. We've been shit for a long time at this. So you take the points, you take the wins where you can get them.
And Palace haven't lost at home since February either. And they just won the FA Cup. They're a good team, you know.
Yeah.
But Scott, we're set piece FC. That's the problem. We're set piece FC, which apparently is only an issue when it's Manchester United. Because if Arsenal are set piece FC, well, I'll tell you what, that set piece coach, he knows what he's doing. That's smart stuff. That's really good stuff. If it's Man United, no, we can't be relying on set pieces. That's the other one I hate as well. Moments FC. Well, that's football. Football's played. The best players create great moments. Well, I think that it's like, because we have been so bad over the last however many years, when we do win a game, even if it's not pretty, we're kind of reluctant to accept it. There's always got to be something wrong with it. Like, what's the catch? What's the catch here? What do we really deserve it? And it's like, well, if we're joint top with Arsenal in set piece goals this season, that's not a fluke, is it? You know what I mean? That is, you know, that does come with strategy. And I know sometimes it isn't popular to sort of praise the coaching staff or whatever, and that leads to a whole thing. But you can go like, yeah, that's good. I mean, like we were chatting about it before we went live. We did it this morning. I remember a time United didn't score set pieces. The whole Harry Maguire, we got Harry Maguire, but we don't score set pieces. Bottom of the league. I think it was like Leeds or
we
something.
have like 200 corners in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
We could not score for love nor money.
And now we are scoring from set pieces. It's like, yeah, but we're set piece FC. That's fine. But as long as we win, I don't care. I really don't care.
Marcel, are people just doing too much? What's your assessment on like where it is right now? Because I've never seen anything like it, where it does just feel mad tiring. I'm not going to lie. Like, whether I've been part of the toxicity or not, and I know I put myself in it, like that, like search, like you win and you go, well, how do I depict this then? And then you try and dissect what happened in the game. No, we only won because of this, or no, you're not giving enough praise. We still find a way to like butt heads.
Yeah, it's very toxic right now in the fan base. Firstly, you know, Scott, James, Owen, KG, Fleck, the chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all good. Yeah, we're just in a really weird position right now where I've been saying it for the longest time. We can't get too high when the things go well, and we can't get too low when things go bad. And that's just how we have to be right now. I'm really picky on the players right now. That's my position. You know, I want to moan at the players. I feel like the manager's formation, we played formation for formation yesterday. So, you know, we can see that it clearly works and that, you know, it can bring wins. But I just want to moan at the players and try to get into a position where we're up-regulating the quality of the players on the pitch. That's it. That's where I feel we need to improve. I'm also looking forward to the next month, because it's only we're at the beginning of this month. Next month is when we're allowed to go in the transfer market. And we're about to lose 3 African players, you know, in Mazwari. I always say his name wrong. Everyone gets onto me in the chat, please. I'll, you know, change my enunciation on his name. I'm all ears. But and then Brian and
is that a word?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm making up. I can make up words.
I thought you said annunciation, not pronunciation.
Whichever one, you know what I mean. So and then you know Brian and then obviously Ahmad. You know we're losing 3 important players in our team. So Manchester United really need to understand that and take heed of that kind of information or that feeling where the quality of the team is gonna massively drop. So minimum, we need at least 2 top quality players coming into the club. Even in that midfield, I was happy with the performance, you know, and I know a lot of people, you know, were fearing that if Ruben loses this game, he's going to, you know, go on to get us relegated and all these kind of really, I don't want to say hysterical, because I feel like they could be entitled to that feeling, especially with the results that he kind of got us last season and things like that. But we got a really good run of games. There's a lot of games coming up in the next few fixtures where I feel like we can get draws and wins. I was saying wins to you a couple games ago at Old Trafford. I was saying the next 7 games are wins. I really felt confident about that. And lo and behold, Man United broke my heart against Everton. I don't think I'll be able to forget that result for at least another 2 months. Easily for another 2 months. So for me, I'm looking at, January, can we purchase players? Thursday's a big result. They need to redeem what they done to us against Everton. But I want to complain about the players. So if you want to talk about players and the way that we utilize the players within this system and what they're giving us, I'm all ears. I'm ready to hear that. And I want to speak to Sir Jim in terms of he has to go into the market, and Ineos, they have to go into the market in January.
Okay. Just quickly, Boy Comics is saying there's a bingo card, and on that bingo card are these things on the Marcel bingo card. Do you agree with that for yourself? Is that a fair assessment?
Number 4 is maybe not always on the card, but the other 3 definitely. You need to add a different fourth one, and maybe even a 5th one.
What would you say we add on as a 5th?
Something usually. Pardon?
Owen's muted. He's talking, but
sorry. It should have been said. It should have been said about Casemiro. Casemiro, the 4th one, about how
he's 60-minute footballer.
Yeah. I was about to say 60-minute footballer. Or something to do with Bruno. Something to do with Bruno. 60 minutes.
That is true. Kristen says when KG has to attend red carpet at 7, but rob a house at 8. And Voldemort says Coyote and Marge have a major heist after the show. Someone else said, obviously people are watching Home Alone, so they look like.
Someone said, "Are you off to the Louvre after this?"
Look, man, you lot. Actually, you know what it is. I'm a bald man. I'm a proudly. My bald head. I've just shy. It's fresh as well. Look at the light.
It actually looks like light was bouncing off it when you did that. It was it was good.
I'm freezing, mate. It's cold.
Cold in the studio.
Once it's cold, you lot know the road hats come back again. So we're in that season of the road hats. There's no more time for truckers. So I'm just back to me. But I think maybe some new subscribers might not be used to the road hats. I had loads of colors.
Yeah, that's true. They're probably thinking, "Oh no, that was the original." That was the original KG. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What's I remember that because you said you couldn't even wear them, but you can. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
you can. Bro, what are you saying? What are you saying? Because I know you're a man that when the fan base is doing madness, you get involved and you start cussing people, being petty.
No,
this,
man.
that, and the other. Are you chilled? Are you going for people? What are you on? Because
since
we've
I've
won,
gone
but
to the
it is
4th
weird.
floor. Since I've gone to the 4th floor, my outlook in life is definitely changed in terms of being. How can I say? I understand that every fan is pissed off, and they have their reasons, their rights, their whatevers. Like that first half was the worst half of football, and it was up there with Everton. That first half against Crystal Palace was a disgrace. However, you got to take that with a pinch of salt. We also have to say nobody believed we were getting 3 points in Crystal Palace. If there's a fan that thought we was going to Crystal Palace to win, because this is what I did. As soon as we lost to Everton, I looked at the fixture list and I saw Crystal Palace and my head dropped. I said, oh my God. And it said, because I looked at it and it was, where is the location? Selhurst Park. I said, 12 o'clock on a Sunday, we're cooked. That was all that was in my head. So if we could get anything from this game, I'm taking it. That's what.
And it started about that. It started like how you're saying as well. The whole first half was that.
But then we see there's something that just reigns true, and this is why what I've now learned to do is, you see those easy games that you're talking about. We got a nice run of fixtures. I don't believe in that. Game by game, we don't know what Man United is going to show up on Thursday. Yes, Paqueta's out. That means nothing. Nothing. Don't look at the facts and the truth and think and draw any conclusions, because this Man United team, as the manager says, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, we now can say, but not like we changed the system in the second half. All they did was, can I say the Zirkzee thing changed everything? Because as soon as Zirkzee scores, the players know how to find each other. All of a sudden, passes are getting to where they need to get to. All of a sudden, everyone's better collectively. But before that, my goodness. And Another guy that ran us ragged, and I don't think is spoken about enough. That job that Mateta did on us first half to Delit and Euro.
Struggling. Yeah,
he cooked him.
He cooked. Mateta was what you want. It was a battering ram, really.
But he missed his chances, though, crucially. He wasted their chances.
That's the level of
glad
Mateta,
he did that.
though. Well, that's the level of Mateta. He's not him, but
Out
he's
of contract
still...
in the summer, KG. Would you take him?
Not anymore. Not anymore. I think we need to focus on other... Wait, you say he's free? He's on a free
trade.
It's next summer, isn't it?
It's next summer. I saw a thing today from BBC saying something like, "Oh, they're going to assess his options. Rob, he's going to assess his options in the summer
after the World Cup.
They'll have to
after
sell
the World Cup.
They'll have to sell him.
Got
yeah.
a year left.
Might be cheap. Might be cheap.
Okay, then on a cheap, KG, on a cheap, because he's got a year left on his contract. Would you take him?
30. Would you take him for 30 million?
Bear in mind,
Sheshko's got
Mateta.
29.
Is he 28?
Mateta is 28. 28. He'll be 29 in June. On a low cost. Bear in mind that Sheshko's got injured now, and we're having the debate about Zirkzee comes in, but is he a striker? Blah, blah, blah. Would you, KG?
I feel that, the only reason why I might be against it, I feel that it's a confidence man and he just has to play. I don't see him coming off the bench and doing a job. I feel like he's meant to be the main man. I think.
What about Europe next year with multiple games, more games? It's not necessarily a bench option. You might need 2 strikers in general to start.
True, but
now we're getting relegated. There's no Europe.
Oh, then it's going to get even busier. That championship schedule's rough.
What if Sheshko can learn off him, KG? Mateta's the older guy, Sheshko's the younger guy.
I don't know. I just certain times we've made up our mind on the striker in terms of it is Sheshko to be the man, and while Mateta, I rate him as a footballer. I don't know if those guys that are in the lower down the table type teams, it's a lot of football that they need. I don't know if he can manage being at a big club and waiting for his moment. Then after, obviously, us fans are going to be like, it's not fair. He's not been given a clear run of games. All that stuff that the excuses that we try to make for us, like for anyone. So I don't know if we'll be able to cope with that, but I'll say this. I'm happy with with the result, and I don't know what we're gonna get next, but I'm kind of ready for this long-term thing with this manager of this is just what it's going to be. We're gonna win, we're gonna lose, we're gonna complain about intensity, we might get through the game. That's all we're gonna be, and hopefully when the season ends, we're in some form of Europe. And maybe that's me setting my stall too low, but we just have to be real on the journey that we're on. It's a long-term journey with this manager.
How do you think we get out of that phase, though, KG, of like the mixture of results with this manager? Like, what kind of ideas or kind of ways do you think we can get out of the period?
I don't think his pieces are here. I don't think we all know the squad is lacking, right? We know in defensive midfield, we got a Casemiro that can only play 65 minutes. We got Dorgu very raw. And I'll say Delo, you don't know what you're going to get with him, quite inconsistent. I would want a goal-scoring wing-back or somebody that can affect the game positively, GA, on that side, on the left-hand side. And our players to be fit, because Cunha, he hasn't had the best start to life in terms of the start of his Man United career has been stop-startish, personally, and it hasn't got going. So you need him to get going. You need Sheshko to get going. So there's a lot of pieces. It is phase one. That's why I have to remind ourselves. It's not going to happen overnight, but I would like Chelsea level intensity. Yeah, they're getting red cards, or even the intensity of Everton. Show me that game to game, and I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I do think that's definitely a mindset thing of like that's another thing we've moaned at for ages. We play against all these other teams who can get after us, shut space down, run with intent. Like that is like, you can argue like it's on the coach because it's like you've got these guys in training and what are you doing with them if they don't want to run for you, etc. So it is part of your job, but it is also part of your DNA as a pro. Like
sense of
if you
pride.
Like your pride. Like if you cross the white line, somebody shouldn't tell you, like Roy Keane would say these days, you know what I'm saying, when he's pissed off on the overlap. What do you mean? We've got to tell you to run for Man United. I've got to tell you to run in the Premier League. What is this? That should be like the bare minimum, whereby what should be sticking out to us like a sore thumb is maybe a lack of quality, is maybe a lack of ability, where you just need to buy an extra guy. We should never look at our team and go, they just do things slow. They just don't get to people. They don't believe that they want to shut that ball down. Or is this a tactic to just be in a low block / mid block and don't press from the front? Like, what is it? Because I look at other teams go after people, after them, at them. And I'm just like, teams with players that aren't as good as us individually, etc., etc. So why is that? And it's a mentality thing. If you don't want to bust a gut, kick down the door and say, listen, we're coming for you. Do you know what I mean? But then at times I do understand that we obviously, which is a coaching thing. When we do go after teams, sometimes Liverpool was the best example of it when we played them. When we just went long and played percentage football, we looked better, and we've looked better ever since. When we try to go after teams sometimes, because we still don't know how to do it as a unit, we get bopped. We get bopped apart. Like, people just tear us a new one, and they just get through. So that has to come from a mixture of manager and commitment from the players. But for me, what I've learned, I've just this last, from Grimsby to now, I've just realized that, like, it's just going to be one hell of a bumpy ride. And you can't eat, like you say, from the win to the loss to the draw. Expect it all. But some people don't like that bit, though. And that's what I wanted to bring to the table, because we can't all sit here and agree. So to play devil's advocate, guys, and I know you're very much like, well, I don't know what's going to happen in a year. I don't even know what's going to happen next week with this team. I get that. Scott, I know what you're saying of like, well, people have to accept that we're a rubbish team and this, that, and the other. But for the people that say, but the manager's not making us a better team, he's not improving players, you can't just only want to buy more players. Like, are you going to earn your bread to improve what we've got, or have you made enough improvement? Just to the people who say that, like, what do we say to the other side then?
I could go with that. I mean, is there any manager that actually improves players magically and doesn't use a checkbook to get out of it? I mean, look at Pep. Spent the most in football. As their team has fallen off, he's fallen off. Arsenal have spent a lot to rebuild their team. Arsenal's team looks nothing like the team Arteta took over. True. I mean, who's left from there? Saka was very young, right? When Arteta joined, he was very young. The rest of it's new. They spent 100 million on Rice. They spent a ton. Saliba they bought, who was out on loan. They bought Gabriel. They bought Timber. They bought Zubimendi. They bought their strikers that they've gotten now. They've bought Madueke this summer. It's a whole new team. The whole team.
Did he show more improvement though with the team going the right way in the early stages?
Maybe. I mean, maybe, right?
Like, can't look past.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest, ironically enough, people will probably say Oliver Glasner as an example to counter that, James. They will probably go like, he's lost his best players, and yet they still are, if anything, even a better team. Like, the argument could be made with the game yesterday that, Palace that doesn't play on Thursday.
I'd take Palace's whole spine over United's though, right
exactly,
now. Exactly.
That doesn't tire out. So I think to answer your question, Flex, of those that would say there's not that much improvement, but for us, have there been any managers that have come into Manchester United and sort of radically made a lot of players better? Probably not. And I think what's different between us and a lot of other clubs, we saw it yesterday, is it's the pressure, it's the mentality. It does things to players.
You're on it.
Brian and Mbumo, first half, he caught the bozo gene. I didn't think it was possible. For him. Even he looked like he was infected with it yesterday. Flex, you called it like Walking Dead football. Like, it was, everyone gets infected. So, and then we saw it. Joshua Zirkzee scores a bit of brilliance. Suddenly the ball we can pass it, we can switch play, and we can pass to feet. And I think it's such a unique task at Manchester United because the pressure is so great. The atmosphere within the team, the pressure up from the fans and everything that comes with it, the expectation, it's just different. And I know, as Madison said, I'm sick of this pressure excuse, but it's real.
It's not even an excuse.
How come then, we'd always talk about how come these players get better when they leave Manchester United? Well, maybe it is pressure then, isn't it?
When you talk about Liverpool, Kirkes, I don't think it's a bad player. It's quality. Like he was, but then guess what? He's at Liverpool. And the attention, like you can be Iraola, Brentford, Thomas Frank has gone a step up. This ain't even United. This is just Spurs. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, the pressure is pressuring.
He's going at the fans and stuff. Imagine that.
I've never known a manager's win record or how he's doing. As soon as you get to one of them big clubs, to traditional top 6, whatever, we start to know how many wins and losses he had. Before that, God knows what Iraola's record is, or whoever's, any of them. This, as soon as you take yourself to a United, Liverpool, or any of the top clubs, now the attention is on you. And then after you times it when you're at Man United, take that, like times that by to the whatever power, bro. It's gonna be a madness. This club has the ability to destroy talent, really, if they're not ready. I looked at Euro on the bench, and I felt so bad for him, bro. I looked at him and I goes, I hope he's gonna be okay. I felt bad. He was like that, and he's just
it just gobbled him up. Yeah, gobbled him up.
Even after as well, we went to the crowd. He had his hood up and everything. He just didn't want anyone to see him.
Yeah,
it seemed like
it's a lot.
And guess what? At a club like this, you cannot hide. You see, if Onana got dropped by Cameroon while he was in a Man United kit, oh my God, we wouldn't hear the end of it.
But it is different because it's like you're saying about these other managers. You can win ugly games every week at a small club and you'll get no criticism because that's what's expected. At United, it's not just winning games. You have to win well, and then you have to
look how we just won. We just beat Palace in that fashion. It's not good enough.
And they hate it. And look at what it was about Oli and Jose and the style of play. And you don't get that at anybody outside those big 4 or 5 clubs. You don't. It doesn't happen. Nobody will look at Glasner and say, wait, you play 38% possession football. You can't play 38% possession football at United. You can't play 40% possession football at United. Nobody will accept that. So the standards are completely different in terms of the judgment of what constitutes success. So it's not just, you can't just be pragmatic and get wins. You have to get wins playing a more attacking way. You have to get wins playing a more entertaining way than anywhere else, which is harder to do than it is to sit in a low block and grind out games all day. We've tried that.
But then we still don't get... Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we get this because, this seems kind of very Amarin positive. We still don't get to legislate for that Everton performance and the mistakes the manager, because that's what I'm saying. Where
it going too far that way.
We can go too far. Like, this critique is fair. Like, for some strange reason, he can't get the boys up for every game. And he can't get the boys up for 90 minutes. That needs to be studied. For some strange reason, at wing back, I think one of Amarin's biggest issues is when he does bring in the academy type players and those types of following the Man United mantra, I'm not really seeing we've obviously lost Garnacho. Kobe can't feature. We've given Fredrickson 1 trial. Amas got sent away, and I'm seeing horrible performances from other guys that don't deserve those spots. So there's got to be balance.
To be honest,
but does that mean the kids were ready though?
I was going to say that the thing is with that, and this is my thing. Yeah, I've said it. So Lenny Yoro is the best example of this yesterday. He had a couple of bad games. Now suddenly Lenny Yoro, he's shit. He's rubbish. He won't make it at Manchester United. Going in on him, looks devastated. I know that some of the senior players play bad, but you talk about Harry and Mass, you talk about these other players. They can't come into this team. I've said it before. We're an unstable team, but we're an even more unstable fan base that comes with it as well. James mentioned it earlier, a few minutes ago, about winning and, it's got to be winning and also winning the right way. And the fact is, even if we did it the right way, we would still complain about it because we don't, I've mentioned it a million times, we actually don't know what we want. We don't know what we want. Because we don't know what we want with style of play, with whatever. And what we do want is wins. And even when we do get wins, we still go, wasn't the right kind of win, though, was it?
But is there not a danger if you? But I do,
and that's completely separate to Amrim, by the way.
Yeah,
because I've been really critical of Amrim. That's just separate because we've done it with every manager. To James's point, Jose wins. No, I don't like that way. LVG does it. I don't like that way. Ollie does it. You know, and that's counter-attacking the Sir Alex way. I don't like that way. You know what
is there not mileage? Want? Is there not mileage though, whereby the same way how you can't lose your shit after every game, if you literally only look at game by game, you're in a position whereby you sometimes can't see what you truly are as an actual team. And what I mean by that is like, so you could win a few games in a condensed period or trickle along and get some wins. And you know that classic line of that's not sustainable. When you look at it about how good of a team you actually are, when you have to go to a better level or you're trying to kick on, it could make you sheltered to like, oh, we're in this small bubble that we've got some results against this team and this team. We're actually good. And then you go, but then the pushback, I'm just talking about some of the pushback from the other side. They go, well, you wasn't really that good. You played against a team that was tired from a Thursday. They dropped their level. The game should have been out of sight because I know could have, would have, could. I'm just talking from the other side. Mateta, you still gave up 3 golden opportunities. That's not sustainable. You can't keep winning like that. You can't keep being that. But thinking I'm okay because I'm just chickening along. I'm tricking along. The bigger picture is most games you still don't know what's going to be put out there. The very fact that we're saying we don't know if we can beat West Ham, but it was really good second half against Palace, but it was total shit against Everton, but it was really good against Liverpool, but it was total shit against Brentford. The mere fact that we're doing that, does that not show that obviously then we still ain't a good team?
I've got a question for you just to build on that, Flex. When you talk about being what is sustainable, how possible is it to actually be that sustainable anymore? Because the example is like Liverpool, they absolutely run away with the league last season. Now you watch them, you go, they're shit. I was in this calendar year. That was just a few months ago. They were really great. I'm just sort of like, and I get it when you look at us. You finished 15th last season, and there's a lot of building to do. But this, like,
we've gone lower than anyone else, though.
Consistent, constantly winning every single season. I don't know if that's feasible.
But they've got. I hate Liverpool. They've got more mileage though. Of like, listen, the fall off is the fall off. But we was talking about this today on DR. The fall off is the fall off, but they're 4 points off third, even with that, shit run. But they were they were Premier League champions last year. And like, but the other good teams that you look at that are the good teams, it's different because the pound for pound. So you look at Brighton, you look at Villa, you look at Newcastle on their way back up now. Like they've put in some consistency over the last few years where you go, they're good, they're going in the right direction.
Have Newcastle though? Players. Newcastle been up and down. Newcastle have been up and down over the last few years. They've had Champions League finishes and then out of the Champions League.
What was you going to say, Marcel?
Well, sustainable for me then, Owen, would be described as X amount of wins per season for a certain amount of seasons. And I think Liverpool fit into that category. I think Arsenal fit into that category. I think Man City fit into that category. So in terms of football clubs being, we're just not at that level. So going on to what Flex was saying about looking at it game by game, I think we also have to look at the table doesn't lie and that kind of narrative. So when you look at, you can go by game by game, but then once you open it out to what the table's telling you, you look at yourself compared to the competition, and then you think about what's sustainable. It's like you need to have players within your team that are as good as the competition that are playing sustainable football and winning 20 games a season, winning X amount of games a season. And that means up-regulating the quality of the players in your team.
I mean, that's it. I agree with Marcel on that exactly, because the point you're making is all true, but it's like, but so what, do we have a team that can consistently play at a top 3, top 4 level? No, we don't. You talk about like why we look bad when we go on attack and things like that. I mean, some of it's mentality, some of it's things like that. There's a really, really simple reason we look bad when we try to dominate teams too. And it's because we have 2 34-year-olds in our midfield, and nothing's going to change that. Because when you talk about being too slow to press, too slow to close the gaps, Casemiro, no matter how good he is, He's never going to play with the speed of play as Caicedo or someone like. It's impossible. There's nothing we can do about it, right? So that's when you look to the squad and you say, until we improve the squad in these areas, this is just who we are.
I a billion
we
percent agree with that. One thing me and KG was talking about on the last Flexing KG show, it was literally this in the KG of like, I'm saying, bro, we just have to get ruthless now, and we need to get better players. And I was throwing in names that some people didn't really like, and I know Mazraoui's come off the bench and just done really well, like to help Yora out and stuff like that. That was just, I know that was just one of the names that was a contentious one, but I'm just talking about it like band for band. And like, when like I was not arguing with Bradley, but I was talking to Brad, he won't mind me sharing it. He was like, listen, Casemiro, telling you, man, just get the wages lower and keep him and stuff like that. And I know Maguire's all right. And he goes, yeah, I'd keep him for another year and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is like, until we get really ruthless, like even Bruno, love him, always defend him. But the current role for him in where we want to play him with this manager, we're never going to have an elite midfield with Bruno and one other in there. We're not.
Rio was saying, Rio's dropped a video. I still need to watch it, but Bruno's irreplaceable or something, or be the toughest player to replace or something like that. I need to watch the video in its full context.
Well, he will be in terms of, and again, that's just an output. I can imagine. I haven't watched it either, but that would be an output thing of, there's a guy who is so heavily involved in every single Manchester United goal for such a long period of time. So if you choose to move on for him in any which way, that's a big void to fill, and it can seem daunting, right? But if you replace it right, and the team, and he's right. How do you replace
he's not irreplaceable though?
Yeah.
No, I think like
it would just be replaced differently. It would be different, wouldn't it?
Exactly. It has to spread between the team, right? Like we need, and that's consistency. That's where we're going to get consistency. Like as to your point on that, and I've been definitely a bit, it comes across maybe overly critical of Bruno, but like I broke down a video last week against Everton, he got outrun by Idrissa Gana Gueye in that first half by 15 yards over the stretch of the field when he went to press him one time. Gana Gueye turns at his own box and he's 15 yards past Bruno. And he's 15 yards past him. That's 36-year-old Idrissa Gana Gueye. Nothing's going to change that. No matter what, no matter how good Bruno is, nothing's going to change that. And we have to change that in the squad to compete with these teams. If we're getting beat by those types of midfielders physically, there's nothing we can do about that, and that Bruno can do about that. It's just, it is what it is. It's not because he's lazy or something.
And when you say we got to get better players, though, Scott, what do you think of this? When you say we got to get better players, which I think we all agree on this panel we do, because when you just look at the players that are there, the level is really bad in some areas, and in substitute areas is even worse. But when you say we need new players, and people say, but what about the manager though? He's crap. His tactics are crap. His in-game management's crap. Like, where do you stand on like, no, we just need better players? Excuse me, and Amarim will be fine. Versus, is he the actual guy?
You need energy. Like you need energy, like all over the pitch, especially in the middle. The wing backs. You obviously need. There's loads of things, but I speak about this a lot. Like, there's so many players in this United team who are just not like. If you picked a prime Premier League player and everything that you'd want in a Premier League player, how many of those United players do you really think are it? There's not many of them at all. Like, talk about Caicedo a minute ago. I know he got sent off yesterday, but he covers every blade of grass. He is it. He does. Arsenal have Rice as well, so you can probably tick him off in that box too. City have had Rodri down the years. That you have that quality in the middle of the pitch. There's a lot to do, and United do need... for the record, I think I quite like the way that they've gone, especially over the course of the summer with the players that they've signed and the profiles that they're starting to identify and bring in. You just need to, I would have liked to see more in the summer, but you just need to be patient enough to see that through and see that plan through. You shouldn't be buying for the manager specifically. You should be buying for the football club, right? And the manager that you have should be able to use those players. The problem is United have had players signed on big wages from years ago, or players that have, like Luke Shaw, have been there since 2014 under Louis van Gaal. It's a bit of a mishmash of lots of different... It's still the case. They've never done that real... They've done a little bit of a rebuild and signed 3 players in one summer, and then changed plan or sacked the manager and then gone in a different direction. Just now, this is like last summer was the first time United have had a manager, a CEO, a sporting director, a scouting unit, all working in tandem and together, trying to execute a plan. You can't do that in one summer. Ruben Amorim's job is to get enough points to hit Europe so he can see through next season.
Plan. Yeah.
See through his plan. That's his plan. You know?
And that's why he needs to stay. On that basis of other clubs that have done this, they've had one person just be there to foresee out the plan, which is like, and what is tough, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of the games when I watch us play, I'm like, I hate this. Yeah, but this thing has to play itself out. The one thing that I agree with Rashford in that interview was Man United have tried so many different strategies and never committed to anything. And this is why the club doesn't. 1 minute we're going to be a counterattack team.
Yeah.
Next minute we're going to be possession based. Next minute we're playing the whole system throughout the academy, and we haven't stuck to something. It's unfortunate because some people, I hear the fans that say, I wish this wasn't the manager that we're planning to build and give all the time to in the world. I hear those fans because in a way, Amorim kind of doesn't deserve it for that, how he started his Man United career. But guess what? I don't want to start this thing again. I'd rather him, this doesn't work, and fix it. Do you understand? Because Dorgu, we don't know if Dorgu's going to be a mistake or not. But at the moment, he feels more in the mistake category than a brilliant positive.
But also, if we're going to stick with the thing, it's okay to make mistakes along the way. We've seen other teams that buy a player, and like I said about being ruthless, this is where the Omar Barad thing of the 2-year thing comes into it. We bought you 18 months ago / 2 years. We're a different team now. You haven't got as good as we thought you would in that space of time. Sorry, you're gonna have to go play for Sampdoria or something. I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's just that is part of the ruthlessness. What we don't do and what we're not good at, which is why we needed an overhaul of the whole footballing department, is you put players who you're not quite sure of on big contract, long term, big money. They don't perform, then they're stuck there. And they stay way longer than they should.
We're not doing, but we're not doing that. We're not doing.
No, we're not doing that anymore. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that these are the things that have to happen.
But also, just with that, with like, you know, I totally agree. You do have to see the project through. You can't keep chopping and changing, stopping and starting. But just to clarify and confirm to those that will say this, that doesn't mean Amorim gets a free pass. That doesn't mean Amorim can lose every single game.
If you don't get enough points, you get sacked.
Because exactly, and like Scott mentioned it earlier on, and James mentioned it too, like Amorim still has the expectation, I think, of like, you do have to kind of be in some form of European competition next season. You know what I mean?
No, that's the standard for him. Yeah.
Exactly. I know. And the thing is as well, right? And like people can do, like you are completely entitled to think this way. The way I judge it, I'm looking at this season, from the start of this season to the end of this season. I'm looking at last season. It was absolutely crap. It was terrible, but I'm willing enough to just push that to a side because he didn't have an attack that really they were toothless. And you've only seen over the past week or so, 2 of the 3 attackers United signed in the summer, United have looked pretty toothless again up until the second half yesterday. That's the thing for me. You just need to look at it through a different lens. The way I'm judging Amorim now is on the points that this team have got this season. If he falls into 12th, 13th, and he's 10 points off 6th, I'll change my tune. I will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let me just get the super chats. KG, 2 seconds. Let me just, because there's loads of super chats, like 16 of them. And then the question you're going to ask it to Marcel, actually. Let's get Marcel involved. Lil Yo-Yo says, Marcel, as an elite football scholar, can you break down how KG's scholarism has been? He's attending Scholar University and has an exam coming up. So there needs to be the annual, termly, maybe, should I say, how's he getting on in this semester,
Yeah, the semester.
RK says, our next 2 games should be 6 points, no excuses. If this fraud hands Wolves their first win of the season on the weekend, Lord have mercy. And these are the types of things, though, because we could beat West Ham and you go, right, everything's all right. And then you get done by Wolves and people will go, no excuses. They got 2 points or whatever the fuck they got. I don't know. Is it 2 points? I think it is.
Yeah.
So, and these are the things. It's like, that should not happen. But if
never
we're
know.
being consistent, guys, of what we know the team, we
You
have to
never know.
understand we
You
lost
never
to
know.
Grimsby.
You never know, guys.
never
So
know.
it can happen. It can happen. So Marcus says, Flex, thank you for the restaurant recommendations. The food was on point. My family and I really enjoyed our time in London. Hopefully next time around you'll get a chance to replay my email. Replay it. Okay.
Reply.
I must be reply. I was going to say replay. And where did you go? Because I gave you quite a few recommendations. Was it the Caribbean stuff? Was it the fried chicken stuff?
Lost
was it
Moches,
what was it?
or was it
Was it the Lost Moches? Where did you go? What did you do? Sushi.
Right up my
Sample.
street,
What
mate.
did you do?
Nice.
Yeah, you like a bit of sushi, Owen? You like a bit of sushi?
No.
Ooh, I love sushi.
I do love sushi. KG loves sushi as well. So Marcus says, I'm also happy Earth Strong. Thank you. That is tomorrow. Big up to you. I really appreciate that. Birthday love for tomorrow. English Talent FC. Mainly was a disgrace to have. I don't think it's a Man United fan. Mainly it's a disgrace to have this body language coming on.
Owen said it this morning.
Amrim should sell him and stop this arrogant right from younger players coming from. I don't think that seriously.
I think it's sarcasm. I'm gonna go with that tweet.
Yeah,
hopefully
sarcasm.
I don't think.
But don't you think it's a bit ridiculous? We win a game and you're seeing all over the timeline tweets of Kobbie Mainoo sad as this now it's the new thing we're gonna have to do.
James,
it's
honestly
so frustrating.
We said about it this morning. It was this. Where is it? Where is the face? There's this one. Look at his face. It's just his face.
It's just his face. He looks like that all the time, doesn't he?
He could be looking down like at the person's hands as he's about to slap him. Like, good game. Like, you know what I mean?
He is sad though.
Hold on, KG, wait there. Hold on, KG, wait there. I need to know. Wait there, because KG, I've seen you like sit back while they're all talking about the picture. What do you think about that, bro?
It's the first time I see that picture. I didn't go looking for that thingy, but the guy does like it's when he's coming on though. I'm not thinking his whole career is like, oh my god, my whole career is over. But
Yeah.
he's getting 4 minutes, mate. He might not get a touch. He's only there to run. Really, if he's gonna be feeling anything, he's thinking it's like the horrible minutes of the game. But I better not make a mistake because they will kill me. You can't I think it's really some of that stuff like Rice, the last 4 minutes, not what I wanted, but it is what it is. The other storyline is he's just the most depressed he's ever been. I think they're dragging it with that one.
That was what he's a broken man. No, he's not. He's a footballer at Man United. He's all right.
He's not a broken man, but he's definitely pissed off. That's a piss.
Two things can be true. Definitely.
That's 4 minutes. He travelled to Crystal Palace South. You know that trip ain't easy, bro. On the train. Come on.
It's for them. You know what I mean? You kidding me?
Not fun.
They're in first place.
Bro, we could trade places. I'll be all right with taking them.
It's not fun.
It's got to switch, bro.
Guys, footballers want to play football, man. We saw bloody Bellingham getting upset because he had to come off for one of his friends. You know, it's just normal. Like they want to play. You know, so I'm not surprised.
I agree. There's no way Kobbie doesn't think, fucking hell, man. I was in the Euros final last year, won the FA Cup, and now I'm getting 4 minutes, bro. And he's tried to leave twice already on loan. Like Kobbie right now is pissed. Let's not dispute that.
Yeah.
But overthinking it, where you're looking at the face now, we're getting into Martial territory of like
that's my issue.
He doesn't want to be here.
I don't like the body language talk because it goes weird, man.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
That's where things start, because give it like when he does come on now, he might happen to be walking. Look at him. He's devastated, walking around the pitch, sulking. You know what I mean? It's not a big jump, is it? I mean, it's already started.
That's why you got to be careful.
Jay says, I still haven't forgiven that Everton performance. Yeah, it was awful because I know the exact performance is around the corner. Well, please do not let us.
Could be against West Ham. Could be.
I know. It really could. It really could. RK says our next 2 games should be. I read that one already. He's going in again. I think the same one. J Ball says Maresca improves players. Glasner, Emery, Iriola. They all improve players.
How many new players Maresca got, by the way?
Only the one Maresca's had billions in
Chelsea
in the last 3 years.
Talk about all the energy and money and youth like needing to go into this team. How much have they had? Come on.
Yeah, they got like 3 dressing rooms.
That's mad. And they got, when you talk about going out there and buying like what's needed, like you go and get Caicedo 100 million. You get Enzo Fernandez 100 million. Obviously,
in
Reece James
January,
come through.
100 million.
Yeah, in January, crazy. Right, don't like them other wingers like Madueke and all that. Bought him from PSV. Move on to the next. 40 million Garnacho, 50 million Gittins, 40 odd million for Esteval. What we need new strikers, 40 odd million João Pedro.
And they still got that young Quende kid coming as well. I don't know where he's going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sterling's on the bench, 430k a week.
Helping the youth. No, he's not. He's helping the youth in the academy.
Yeah, he is.
For a lot of money.
English Talent FC says Yoro crying, Mainu moaning, overpaid divas. Maybe you are being just a little bit like,
I hope so.
Wanting the rage bait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show, big up Show says, we're the only fan base in football that claims the manager needs a perfect 11 before being accountable. Improvement has to be gradual from the get-go.
Not true. I watch other fan channels. I watch everyone.
Yeah, they're all equally as mad.
We all complain the same. We all complain the same. I'm telling you.
We're all irrational. All fans are irrational.
Yeah.
I'm going to whisper it. There have been improvements this season, by the way. There have been this season.
Yeah, that's true. English Talent FC says Amrim doesn't bury youth, he buries mediocrity. And Star-Lord says we need to give Amrim 3 full seasons. 3 full seasons. He does have to earn that as well, though.
He's only on a 2.5-year contract. He won't get 3 seasons.
Well, yeah, true. But obviously the 3-year thing that Sir Jim was on about, roughly. 3 full seasons, and if no improvement, then we think about sacking. If Amrim I'm Amrim in till the wheels fall off. Big up, everyone. Big up, DJ, bro. Good to speak to you. Good to hear from you. Says, man like KG, boy, time to let Bruno Cass go now. Let them go, he's saying. Let them go. J Ball says, is Amrim building anything sustainable or just surviving? Be honest. And Kurai edits says, Flex, Hariyama should be integrated to the team. Listen. It's tough. KG, before we started that, we've got 5 minutes left, but you was going to ask a question.
Yeah, well, it moves us on to what Zirkzee Mount conversation. And again, Flex, I don't know if you're agreeing with the thing about rating players and then trust. I don't know if you've let that go now, because there was many weeks. There was many weeks when we spoke about, he does rate the players. He just doesn't trust them over other players. And clearly, if we go by his words, you've used his quotes a lot when you're talking about him changing the system and stuff. I'd think you'd use his same quotes when he does say, he really rates what he did in a game, not just from goal scoring, but the other stuff. So are you willing to admit that?
And I think it's
are you willing to admit?
I've addressed it.
Sorry,
I think it's.
I'm just finishing my statement. Are you willing to admit that you were wrong?
Is it a statement or a question? I don't know which.
Still not letting him finish either. Still not letting him finish, which is wild.
Are you willing to admit that you was wrong, going by how you've, spoken in the past?
No, I'm not. Because I stand by what I meant. What I meant is still true, which is that if he had his way, i.e., when all the players are fit, he doesn't rate him when they're fit, and we've seen that by all of the team selections. The reason why Zirkzee is playing is because there has been no Cunha and there has been no Sesko. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got an opportunity. The same way if Kobbie Mainoo, the same way how he doesn't rate or trust Kobbie Mainoo, if Bruno, if Casemiro and Ugarte got injured tomorrow, Kobbie Mainoo would play. Does that mean all of a sudden he's just now?
Can I ask a question? And this is to anyone in the panel, because Flex seems to want to lack common sense. Isn't injuries part of it? Rotation, part of football. So and he's kept this play. So why are you acting as if he expects there's going to be injuries? Cunha can get injured. Sesko can get injured, but he's kept this player as a part of his squad because he believes he can use him. Which means
did he keep his player as part of his squad because he didn't get no one else to replace him?
He would have got the Rasmus Højlund boot. He would have got the other players that have been booted out. But he said, hey, I see you as a... And then he ain't even letting him go in Jan as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is then if there was a better option, we wouldn't take it because he trusts him. That's what you're saying. So you're saying to me, if we tried, if in the summer, we could have, Zirkzee wanted to go to Bologna or Juve, and we could have gone and got a different player who Amrim fancied more. What you're saying to me is because he rates Zirkzee so much, you would say, do not leave this football because I want you here. Is that what you're telling me?
Let's just judge him what he's doing.
I think that can be said for a lot of players. I think that can be
said
for a lot of players.
No, wait there. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That can be said for a lot of players.
Yeah.
Judging a lot you're acting like he didn't want him to leave because he thinks he's so good.
Judge him for the actions that he's made. The last summer, The last
a lot
summer,
of players at Man United would probably rather have.
Zirkzee could have been gone. Zirkzee could be gone, and he's still here. He had the option to clear out. He made.
Does he still rate Ugarte? Does he still rate Ugarte because he's still here? Can someone ask me that?
What do you mean about rate though? Like, what's the word rate mean? Like, how are you gonna rate something?
Well, do you know what? I'm glad you
got criticised for this.
I'm glad, James. I'm glad
because I think of it like a scale here. Like, let's say he sees Zirkzee as a 6. Well, yeah, if you offer him a 7, he's taking the 7 over the 6.
Yeah.
But he still looks at him like, well, a 6 is usable.
That's what I said, James.
And Højlund was a 3 or a 2.
And Højlund was a 3, so he said,
that's what me and KG we said. If you say he doesn't rate him, that to me says he's got nothing to offer this team, and you might as well get rid of him because he's got nothing. It's an element of trust, or like, if you want to say rates, it's about okay, I think this player is better than him, but if he didn't rate him, then he wouldn't have played towards the end of last season. And if he wasn't injured, he'd have started that Europa League final because he rates him more than he rates Højlund.
Well, I mean, it's a silly question. If we signed Mbappe, would he be starting or Šeško?
That's why
that was my point when you said Flex about if he could have got someone else, then he would have sold him. That could probably be said for every player in the Man United team. I'm sure there's someone out there that he would rather have than the player that's actually in the squad. I mean, he plays Dallo all the time, but I'm sure there's wing backs out there he'd rather have instead of Dallo.
No, it's because he's his cousin
or whoever. Well, related, I suppose. Bad example. Marcel, what do you think? Especially about Flex's doubling down. Sounds like something you would do.
I think Zirkzee has the opportunity to increase his rating in the mind of Ruben if he continues scoring goals. Obviously he scored against Crystal Palace. He needs to continue scoring and continue, making everybody believe that he's the starting striker in the team. I don't think Ruben is really hindering the football of Zirkzee and Kobe at the moment, which is really annoying at the moment. But obviously we have limited amount of games. But at the same time, I think it speaks to his level of management. He should be able to balance and distribute the minutes out in a better way. So he needs to figure that out quickly because we've got.
I don't think he can though. Someone was talking to me about what do you think about the treatment of Kobe, and I said, mate, he's fighting for his life. He ain't got time to think about how you are. My job's on the line. Your life is irrelevant when I'm at risk. You've got a contract. You're gonna be here. If I don't get results, I'm gone. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go earlier on, KG. With trust. Trust is gonna be the top. I trust Casemiro.
And on Casemiro, remember when he came in at the start and Casemiro couldn't get a minute? Yeah. It can turn around. To me, I actually take him at face value for that.
Yeah.
I honestly.
And Zirkzee right now, this is the question really, because the next game Thursday, is it Zirkzee Mount? Is it Zirkzee Mount or is it Mount and Cunha? What happens?
It's got to be like one thing. Obviously, I know we did the trust rate thing. One thing we did agree on, even in the trust rate thing, is that it'll be really nice to see Zirkzee with them too. Like we did all agree on that because that's what I was excited to looking for.
Well,
like Everton,
but Mason Mount's also played 90 minutes for the first time in his United.
100%.
So.
Mason Mount's got to keep his. Mason Mount has to keep his spot. He scored. He played 90 minutes. He has to play.
I would bring Cunha in and bring Mason off the bench.
Yeah, I would bring Cunha in for Mount, for me personally.
I bring in Cunha in and play Mason off the bench. Absolutely.
Straight away.
Because you need, end of the day, Cunha is our future, and we do have AFCON coming.
Mason Mount be our
and
future?
And they same age.
I'm not going to rely on Mason to lead us. I'm not sorry. I don't know how good that game was for you lot. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's harsh. But
even his last game, man got hooked off last game against Spurs.
Guys, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, Mason Mount and Cunha are the same age.
Ahmad and Mbumo are going to AFCON. I need Cunha on song as soon as possible.
The same age.
No, but KG is correct. Well,
I'm saying I need Cunha.
Cunha has the attributes we want. Cunha has the attributes that we signed him for. That is our future as a footballer, not from an age standpoint. We signed him because we want a guy with his attributes, carrying the ball, the way that he runs, the way that he plays.
Amorim has also.
Everybody likes Mason.
He loves Mason Mount.
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm talking about in terms of Cunha has had to do this at Wolves. Right now, the team's level is gonna dip. As soon as that man go to AFCON, I don't know how we're attacking without Mbumo and Ahmad. Cunha doesn't need to be almost trying to find fitness and this, that, and the other. He needs to be ready for when them, because the burden falls on him. I don't know if everyone else agrees with that.
Maybe it falls on
him. But shouldn't Amarim play who's playing well? Isn't that the part of it as well? I think because one thing that Reuben has shown is that if something is working, then he'll stick with it. There's a reason why so many times after Harry Maguire scored a late winner, he always started putting Harry Maguire up front. So if Mason Mount's scoring goals and playing well, then I don't think he'll take him out.
You can't drop Mason Mount after he won us the game. And
no, but that's not.
I think if anyone goes out, Zirkzee goes out for Cunha this time.
But he rates him. He rates him.
No, in terms of what people do. In terms of what people do, that's what I think he'll do.
No, hold on. That can't happen to the guy who's so highly rated. What are we talking about? How can he get sacrificed? He's rated, remember? He's trusted.
Cunha's got to play because let's not forget for a second here that team came out from kickoff looking like shit with no aggression, no intensity, no nothing. Cunha brings that every second of every minute that he plays, regardless of how well he's playing. Cunha missing is a big factor in why Everton and that game looked like such shit from an intense factor. There.
I'm not dropping.
Always brings it.
James,
always brings it.
But you see this Cunha thing you lot are talking about, yeah.
You can't drop Zirkzee.
The more you think about it, yeah, it is actually true, yeah, in terms of what he brings and what we have seen. This is not but this is not an agenda. What we have seen is when there has been a void up front, he hasn't gone to Zirkzee, he's gone to Cunha. Now I'm thinking he does love Mount and has been waiting for him to get charged up and get good. If Joshua Zirkzee, I'm telling you, if it's Cunha and Mbumo and Mount, if it's that and Zirkzee gets dropped, I don't want to hear anything from any of you lot for the whole rest of the season.
I don't think that will happen though, Flex. Cunha's coming back from an injury as well.
Wouldn't that just mean that he rates Zirkzee a little lower than Cunha?
If it's not, what are you going to do?
If what? If he plays him? If he plays him? Yeah, if he plays him, then it means, like you said, he's rated. Like you said, he's rated.
But then what happens, Flex? If let's say he starts Cunha, and then because Cunha's missed the last 2 games, maybe isn't fully fit, takes him off, and Zirkzee comes on, and Zirkzee scores a goal. Then what? Then is it a case about rating?
Then you tell me, hold that we won. What are you going to say?
What if he drops Mount? What if he drops Mount?
Hold that we won.
Does that mean he rates? Does that mean he rates Zirkzee higher than Mount if Zirkzee plays and Mount doesn't? Does that mean he rates higher than Zirkzee than Mount now?
If he drops at and plays Zirkzee in a 10 instead of the 9?
No, in the 9 with Cunha and Mbumo either side. What if he does that? I think that's our best bet anyway. But
so if he drops Mount and plays Cunha and Mbumo in a and then plays 2 up front.
Zirkzee is a 10. Yeah, Zirkzee is the 9 still. Yeah,
I don't think
in the middle.
This is the 9 with Cunha and Mbumo off him.
Yeah,
two of the front 3 scored goals in the last game, and he's not going to drop Mbumo, is he? Like, he's not going to change that.
He ain't dropping.
He must play Cunha.
Zirkzee has to play.
Play Zirkzee, play Cunha, drop Mount. We need something off the bench. When you look to the bench, guys, I looked at it and said, oh my goodness, we have no attacking threat. I just saw Shea Lacey and Cobby. No, in the last game, I saw Shea Lacey and Cobby.
Yeah, but now you got Cunha back on the bench.
Why can you have Cunha on this bench?
Let Mount be that person that can be the speed and injection.
Do you get the same feeling from Mount impacting a game that you would Zirkzee, though, or Cunha?
You wouldn't.
I think Mount's been a better sub over the course of his career. He's come on and actually scored some late goals and things. But I think Cunha needs to go from the start.
Killing players' confidence. Yeah, if Mason Mount scored a goal and played well against Palace in the second half, and then you drop him for Cunha,
he can't even drop.
Who's coming back from an injury?
Come on, it's a 4-game turnaround. Mason Mount has played his first 90 minutes in his entire career at Manchester United. You can't even trust his fitness at this point to say that he should stay for a 4-day turnaround.
I can't believe with it. Like, what? Just because? Why?
You don't have to pay 90.
It's the same. Yeah, I think he would keep the same. I really think that would be a thing.
Don't forget that first half. Don't forget that first half. Come on.
Don't forget the last whole game that Cunha played. He got hooked.
Yeah, against Spurs.
We were still better against Spurs.
You lot are moving mad.
No, hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. Against Spurs, we were still the better side for 60 minutes in the start of that. The Spurs were useless in that game.
This is where absence does crazy things. Because against Spurs, everyone was cussing out Cunha.
Not me.
Oh, he's not playing well this season. He's being too greedy, too many passes.
I think that's a terrible take, honestly.
He misses 2 games, and now it's like, get him back in. We're missing him massively. Like,
I can't speak to these hypocrites, Owen. I've never said Cunha's been anything but good. I really like him. I really rate what Cunha brings to the team. Even when he's not scoring, I really rate what he brings to the team.
But like Mount and
when we
Cunha
talk about
aggression this season.
But aggression, intensity.
Who would you like trust more in this AFCON period without Ahmad and without Ahmad and Buemo?
I don't think
Mount
we can look that far ahead. Like you keep saying,
I'm just saying, Mount or Cunha, who would you trust?
Yeah,
more?
they'll all play with Zirkzee, right?
They'll both play.
All 3 of them will play, and then
I'm saying that
it won't be an either-or.
you see how Buemo is looked after us, and he's been the one kind of carrying the torch.
Yeah.
I think he's one of our best players. Someone else has to step into that Buemo.
It's an opportunity for Mount.
And I believe Cunha would do that better than Mason Mount would. I don't believe, even though Mason Mount wears the 7, and traditionally the 7 is that talisman player, I don't believe he's that for Man United. And I don't think he's ever going to be that for us. I don't know if that's harsh.
But when they get to AFCON, KG,
how I feel at this moment,
Mount and Cunha will play. Mount and Cunha will both play when they go to AFCON. You know,
Sheshko and Cunha, and maybe
I don't know if that guy's going to be back on time.
Yeah,
I feel like our manager's been lying about injuries as well. He's doing the Ten Hag, the leg. You know, when Ten Hag never told us how bad the injuries were. I don't know how good that Sheshko one is. I think,
but they did clarify. They did clarify though. They clarified.
He did say it would be around the time they go to AFCON. He did say that.
No, because there was a misconception on the last presser where it sounded like he said, "Did he just say that that's going to be even longer?" For
to be fair, Flex,
and then they corrected it.
To be fair, Flex, it wasn't bad from the beginning. It wasn't bad from the beginning because he could have carried on. He could have carried on. He should have been playing all the way through.
We didn't mention Lissandro as well. Lissandro's back. That's a good thing. We forgot to mention that, but I got to get out of here as well, everybody.
Yeah, it's a big thing. We'll see what the starting lineup is. I'm just saying, anyhow, Zirkzee is not in that starting lineup. That actually will be really bad on him as well, by the way. I actually agree with that. Yeah. That will be bad. And to me, it would show that, like,
you were right.
To me,
you were right.
No. It just shows.
Scoring Flex.
No, do you know what it is? Do you know what my thing is? My thing is, obviously, I'm quite comfortable with the term like not rate. I don't take it to the nth term of like, oh, I think you're a piece of shit on the bottom of my shoe. So like, no, but what I'm saying is the misconception of like when you say if I say the manager don't rate the guy, everyone thinks it means like I don't like him, get him out my cup. When I say don't rate, I mean in our whole squad of what we have, when everyone's fit, he ain't playing him. That to me means you're not rated. To me, you're only playing because 2 men are injured in your position. Same with Cobby. Cobby, to me, right now, you can say what you want, but when you pick the team, when you make the subs, more often than not, I'm not turning to you. Not trusted, not rated. To me, they're one of the same thing. And I'm just saying Zirkzee is not rated as much as people think the manager rates him. Otherwise, he would have played a lot more. There's been games where man's an unused sub when we need a goal. Obviously, I don't trust you. I don't rate you. Same thing. That's my point. Obviously, when we're at bare bones and he has to play 2 games in a row, he's going to get a chance. We pay him probably 80 grand a week. That still doesn't mean, ideally, I rate you. That's what I think people are getting confused. But listen,
to KG's question earlier on, you haven't moved on from the rate, trust.
No. To his question earlier on is, have I changed my mind or do I apologize? And I said no.
Yeah.
He didn't say, have I moved on? He asked me, do I want to change my mind? I said,
okay, I'll ask you. Have you moved on from it?
I have now because I've said what I need to say. And you lot better hope he's starting. I hope he's starting. Guys, big up for the show. Actually, did we? Yes, we did. We got all the super chats done. Big up to each and every single one. It's always fun. It's always very fun on the red carpet. Ultimately, we put our infighting aside. We just want to win. We don't care who scores the goals. Do we? We don't care who's rated or who's trusted. Yeah, we all want the same thing, don't we? And that's for Man United to win football matches. You know what I mean? You would think, wouldn't you? So,
you would think.
There you go. And long may it continue. As actually, I still watching back that goal, by the way. He's thinking, how the fuck did he score
brilliant.
that? Yeah. Like it's actually such a good goal out of nothing. Like he's not entitled to score that. So confidence-wise, he has to start again. And for me, I know we've got a few disagreements, but confidence-wise, for Mason Mount, he's got to start again. But stranger things have happened. You talk about managing players. Reece James just had the performance of a lifetime. And Maresca's saying he ain't playing against Leeds. So I get it. You do have to you know, you do have to look at it that way. Guys, big up to yourself. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big shout out to James. Big shout out to Scott, Marcel, and Owen, and of course KG, who's gone off to do the boxing situation. We're out of it, guys. Peace.